Hello everyone, this is Eve and I'm coming to you with Can You Teach Me How to Smile Again? An Eyeless Jack X Reader by RoseBlue26. We're going to be starting off with Chapter 5, Lion's POV. Where am I? I mumbled as I come into consciousness. I look around only to see a small room that was lit up by a small window on the wall. There's a small desk beside the bed I'm laying in a small room. Probably the bathroom? I get off the bed and walk around, and there's a steel door facing the bathroom. I tried the door, and as expected, it was locked. Great. I open the small bathroom and had the most basic utilities. At least I know to respect someone's privacy, I guess. That's when I realized my camera is nowhere to be found in the room. Where is it? Did they throw it away? Hey, they better not harm my instant camera, or they can consider themselves dead meat. Whether they're a killer or not, I growled. As I was in a daze, I heard the door being unlocked. I looked at the door and saw a blue mass peeking from the door. "Hey, you're already awake," he said as he walked in with a tray of fried rice and some water. "You must be hungry. Here's some food for you," he said as he heard your stomach grumble. "I hate you," I simply said before taking the food, placing it on the table and eating. "You're welcome," he said as he sat on the bed. I just sat and ate without giving a reply or even a glance. It was a silence for quite a while. That is, until I started to talk. "So, you're not going to lock the door? What if I just hit you with the plate and run away?" I know you won't. If you wanted to, you would have done it earlier and talked to me about it," he said. You just hum at his statement. "Hey, Blue Boy, where's my cameras?" you asked him as you crossed your arms on your chest facing him. "Blue Boy? Your cameras are safe. My boss kept it in his office. But you shouldn't be worried about your cameras, you know. And it's Jack. Eyeless Jack," he said, trying to contain his laughter. "Well, it's important to me more than my life, especially the instant one. Can I have them with me? It's not like I can escape using it." "Is that your killer name?" "But why Eyeless, though?" I asked, tilting my head. He just simply replied, "The name is as it sounds." But then you notice a change of atmosphere in the room. You turned around to be greeted by a tall, faceless being in a black suit, and Jack quickly stood up from the bed while you tilted your head, studying the being. "Hello there, Lion. I'm Sunderman," he said. "How did you talk without a mouth?" you thought to yourself. "Hello, so are you the boss, then?" you asked this being while looking back at Jack, and Jack just gave you a small nod. "In a way, yes, I am the head in the mansion, and I am also the one that has requested Jack to bring you here," he stated. I nodded. "And why is that, if I may ask?" I mean, I thought I was going to be killed, but then suddenly I was here and locked up. And if you want any ransom or anything, you've got the wrong person, because I don't have anyone else to begin with," I explained. "No, we are not locking you up for some ransom money. I have a few questions for you, and there is something that I need to confirm it myself with. But maybe we'll talk about it later on, since I have somewhere else to go, and as for now, I hope you can stay here. And Jack, please make sure everyone takes their turn on doing the chores for these couple of days. Masky, Toby, and Hoodie are out on their mission for now, but they should be coming soon by the latest on Friday," he said as he turned to face Jack, who just nodded his head and then to me. "It's not like I have a choice now, do I? But do you think you can give me back my cameras? It's really important to me," I begged him. "I'm sorry, but not now. Maybe I'll give it to you once you give your cooperation regarding my questions. I have to go now, and goodbye," he said before disappearing. Poof, and just like that. I just sighed and went back to eating. After I finished with the meal, Jack took the tray and went out with it, leaving me alone in the quiet room. Great, now what should I do during my free time? For these 2 days, I have been receiving meals 3 times a day, which was delivered by the pastas, as to what Jack called themselves, and I was really bored in here. Can't they at least put a bigger window? But then again, I won't be able to see as much as I'm located in the basement. Sometimes I keep hearing a little girl's giggle, and I wonder how come there's a little girl in a mansion full of killers and other beings. There's no way, right? Suddenly, I heard someone walking into the basement. I was just sitting on my bed, and I saw the door open. Just then, I saw a guy wearing a white hoodie with messy black hair, pale white skin, and a carved smile on his face. And he had no eyelids. People have been saying I'm the weird one, and wait till they saw the people living here. He walked into the room and placed my breakfast on the table. "Thanks," I said, keeping my face as blank as usual. You were like the others said, huh? No emotions at all, even after seeing my beautiful face? He said as I just replied with a shrug and stand up from the bed to get my food. I picked up the tray when I suddenly got grabbed by the shoulder and pushed to the wall, making me drop the tray and the food on the floor. Well, damn it. I sighed and looked up to my lovely attacker, the smiling killer holding his knife to my cheek and slowly cutting a straight line on it. It's not too deep, but it still draws some blood. How about I change that? I can torture you till you scream, begging for help. Doesn't that sound fun? He cooed in my ear. Do what you want, it's not like I care. I was hoping to be killed anyway, but you might need to think twice before you do anything, since Slenderman did make an appointment with me for some questioning time. As I said as I looked him straight in the eyes. He growled and stabbed me on my shoulder, making me wince a little. I'll do what I please, and I won't hear it from you, he said, twisting the blade into my shoulder and yanking it out. I put a pressure on my now bleeding shoulder and looked at him with an emotionless face despite just being stabbed by the sicko. Is that so? I challenged him. He seems to be annoyed by this, and he just pushed me hard on the wall and stormed out of the room. Well, he has a temper, all right. I just hope this wound won't get infected, I said as I walked back to sit on my bed, putting the blanket they gave me for the night on my wounded shoulder. I looked back to the door and sighed. How stupid can he be when he's having his issues? He just stormed out without closing the door. I sighed as I heaved myself up to close it. Even the keys is left in the keyhole. Yep, he is a super-duper idiot. I just left the key there and just closed the door like nothing happened. Now what? I guess I just wait for someone to come for the next meal, or just die due to the bloodlust then. I sit on the floor beside my bed and just wait. What a way to start a day. Chapter 6. Sally's POV. I was walking from the living room to go to Jack's room. He's going to be away the whole evening today, and I'm going to show him what I drew, since I have no one else to show anyway. Let's go show this to Jack, Charlie, I said to my teddy bear, and as I was walking, I saw Jeff with a bloodstain on his hoodie storming out from the basement door to his room. I tried to peek into the basement, and I saw the door was wide open. Did he forget to lock it? Sunday's going to be so mad if he finds out. Just then I saw the door where our guest was slowly closed by itself with the key still attached to the door. Why didn't she run away since the door is unlocked? And the blood on Jeff's hoodie, is she injured? Being curious as me, I make my way down to the basement. Sunday's going to be mad at me for being down here, but Jeff's the one that forgot to lock it, right? And he might have killed her, so Sunday have mentioned not to do. I grabbed the handle of the door and peeked a little bit. Hello? I asked to see if she was alright. Hello? Who's there? She asked. She sounded like she was hurt. I looked at Charlie before opening the door all the way, and there I saw a female with long hair holding the blanket on her shoulder sitting on the floor by the bed. It's bleeding really bad, and Jeff must have done it. Are you okay? I said as I walked in cautiously. I could see the breakfast was on the floor, and she didn't even have her breakfast yet. She just nodded and said, Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. Do you stay in the mansion here, too? I nodded. Yeah, I'm Sally, and this is Charlie. Does it hurt? Pointing at her shoulder. She just shrugged. I'll bear with it. Why do you look scared? I hugged Charlie and went to sit beside Ryan. Because I'm not allowed to be in the basement. Sunday will get mad at me if he knows. But I just wanted to make sure you were okay after I saw Jeff storm out from here. Sunday warned us not to harm you. She nodded. Well, you better go back upstairs then. We don't want Sunday to be mad, right? But what about your wound? We need to fix that, I asked worriedly. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Now go on. I don't want to cause you any trouble. Her face softened as she tried to convince me that she's okay. I was debating on whether to leave or not, and looking at Charlie, he nodded slightly at me. Puffing up my chest, I stood up and take her free hand gently. Well, you're coming with me. We're going to fix your shoulder, I say as I help her up. But I quickly cut her off. No, we're going to go fix it, and that's final. I'm sure Sunday will only get mad at Jeff more than me, since he hurt you and leaving the door unlocked. She just nodded and followed my lead to Jack's room. I hope he's still there. Along the way, we didn't bump into anyone, which was good because I didn't want to get bombarded by questions. Knock, knock. Jack, are you in here? I knocked on the door, and then we heard a shuffle from the other side of the walking to the door. Yes, Sally. What is... He suddenly paused. Ryan's POV. As we reached the door, Sally knocked on the door. Jack, are you in here? She said. So Jack can help me with a stab wound, I guess. He must be the medic of this mansion or something. We heard some shuffling on the other side of the door, and soon the door opened, revealing Jack without his signature blue mask. Yes, Sally, what is it? He paused as soon as he saw me. I was surprised myself. I guess he didn't lie about his name, as he doesn't have any eyes. Only pitch black in place of where his eyes were supposed to be. I just blinked, trying to process what I just saw. What? How are you out here? Sally, I thought Sunderman told you not to go to the basement. Jack trying to comprehend what happened as he looked at me and then to Sally. I'll tell you about it later. Can you fix Big Sis's shoulder, please? Sally whining while keeping her grip on my hand. Did she just call me Big Sis? Oh, she's just precious. Jack looked up from Sally and frowned, looking at my shoulder. Come in here, he said, motioning us to enter. After the both of us enter his room, he closed the door and asked me to let him see the stab wound. It's pretty deep. Who did it? He asked. It's Jeff, Sally interfered, and he just nodded. Go into the bathroom first. I'm going to need to stitch it up and take off your shirt. Sally, you stay out here, okay? Jack commanded us, and we just nodded and went to do as instructed. I went into the bathroom and carefully took off my shirt. It was soaked with blood, and man, I'm sure I'm going to be tired after this. Taking the almost soaked blanket, I wrapped it around my chest. Just then, Jack came into the bathroom with some medical supplies. Well, isn't this going to be fun? I just hope he has something for the pain. Let me guess, he stabbed you because he didn't scream or show any emotion at all when he wanted to give you your breakfast? He asked. I just shrugged because I honestly was not sure why he attacked me. I hissed when he put the hydrogen peroxide to clean the wound. He carefully cleaned it up, and then he put something on the area of the wound. It's going to take a while before the numb kicks in. Tell me when it does, and we'll start with the stitching, he said, breaking the silence. Okay, can I ask you something? How can you see without, I asked curiously about his sight. He did say he can see the wound is not bad, or did he have another method of seeing? He seems to be thinking on how to explain to me by the frown on his face, and it's much easier to talk with him without his mask. Since I can see his expression, I wonder if people also feel like how I did when I talked to Jack with his mask on. Well, how do I explain? I can see just like you and the others, that's for sure. Even though my lacking eyeballs part, he said, tilting his head with a smirk that showed his sharp teeth. So you can see colors and all that just like everyone? I tilted, trying to process how the heck he could see without his eyeballs. On the other hand, maybe I shouldn't question much after I met with Slenderman. I mean, he could fucking teleport, and he doesn't even have any facial features. It's magic, Sally said as she peeked from the doorframe, giggling. Jack and I glanced at each other before bursting into laughter, but soon the laughter of them ceased, leaving just me. When I catch my breath, I noticed that the both of them stare at me with their mouths slightly open. I could have sworn I saw a tinge of red on Jack's gray cheeks. Did he just blush? But why are they looking at me? What? Why are you two staring at me? I asked, dumbfounded. Sally quickly ran to the bathroom and held my hands. Big sis, you look beautiful when you smile and laugh, she said, beaming her big smile. I laughed and smiled. I tried to look into the mirror, but now I only see a frowning reflection of me instead of my smiling face like Sally mentioned. Hey, are you okay? Jack asked, snapping me from my mind. Big sis, did I say something wrong? Sally spoke at a brink of tears. What? No, please don't cry. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just thinking. I did just laugh and smile, right? I said, trying to comfort her, and mumbled the last part. Sally and Jack just nodded. It's been a while since I've done that. I thought I could have never experienced it again after the incident. I know I haven't forgotten how to feel any emotion, and I have become numb, but how did I said, mumbling to myself. You don't need to understand. Even I don't understand it. You just smiled and laughed when you were happy, just like now. And I'm happy to meet you, big sis. That's why I'm smiling, just like Jack, she said, giving her big smile. I turned to look at Jack, and he was smiling as well. It makes me feel warm and tingly inside. So this is how it is to be happy. I just nodded. Well, let's proceed with the stitching now, shall we? I'm sure the meds is already kicking in. Sally, are you going to give me a hand? He said, breaking a slightly awkward moment, and Sally nodded, still smiling. Okay, I'm ready, I said as Jack started with the stitching work. I wonder if I can start feeling other emotions back if I stay here. Live here with them. That is, if Slenderman didn't conclude that I needed to be killed. For once, I didn't feel like dying. I wanted to feel alive again. That is the end of that chapter. The chapter after that one is chapter 7, YN's POV. Let me know how you guys felt about that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, bye bye.